basically like Restream is like a basically it streams you to Twitch and YouTube at the same time.
Ah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. But anyways, how are you, James?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing all
It's
right.
been months,
So,
literally.
James, just introduce yourself and what you do.
Okay. Name's James. I'm a environment artist slash generalist. I've worked with Nate in the past, and that's about it. That didn't go very far, honestly.
What?
Uh,
We worked together for so long, James.
we, I
You
would
won
like,
one
I would have
competition.
whooped.
Or
I would have
almost did.
had, yeah, almost.
If honestly, I feel like if we went back, we won Skills USA. I have no doubt in my mind that we would have like actually went somewhere with it. But
Yeah, definitely. The issue
I
is,
I think
we
me
didn't
moving
stick
away
with it.
was the biggest thing.
No, it was me moving away because I started it.
You moved away?
Yeah, I went to college. Remember?
No. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. You
yeah,
left me
Nate.
in the dust. I
No,
remember
no, no,
that.
no. You left me and Sean in the dust. We literally were like, "Hey, you want to move in with us? Like, we have a fucking uh enough space for another person."
I don't
Sorry, I'm
know,
playing chess.
James. I think you might have left me
That's
in the
actually
dust.
100% what it was. It's literally we had space for another person. We're like, "Hey, you want to move in with us? You can go to school with us. We can like be the three of us, split rent three ways." It would have been a whole thing. Um, and that kind of sank the second you said that you were moving.
Yeah, it sucked, but
Yeah, it's fine though. It wasn't the end of the world. Honestly, it was kind of a it wasn't the best case scenario, but it did actually kind of put us all in pretty good situations.
yeah.
You found your girlfriend. I got a lot more time focus on myself and my girlfriend.
I did.
Up her in a second if that meant I could come back to Seattle.
Not
No,
even.
Nate will never leave.
That's not true. I
It's pretty true.
definitely once if Eliza is ever ready to, I'm ready.
Elijah, would you ever be ready to move?
Maybe someday, but I like Michigan too much.
Yeah, so never.
Michigan's not terrible. I don't know. I like the basically the way it's set up is on that side of the U.S. It's just that's basically where tech lives, you know. So I do miss that
In
aspect
Michigan?
of it,
Oh, yeah.
but I'm sure it'll be fine here too.
Uh,
Just come over, move in, James. Okay,
yeah, me move in.
you know, you're
We
always
still live with my
welcome.
mom.
I'm over here in my own place, dude.
We
I
live with my
literally
mom.
I have two rooms that are just one room is just empty. Like literally, I never go in there. Like no joke. And the other room, it's I'm using it as just an office. Like I just have my computer in here, the whiteboard and the corkboard. Anytime I'm like wanting to do something, have any ideas, or just want to work, I just come in here. And then I have my fucking actual room that I never go into now.
How could you
Like it's
just have that extra room? And I'm still waiting.
Nate, you what do you mean how?
I'm still
You need
waiting
to
for
move
that
in with me.
chair.
Oh, I have it. It's literally right next to me, built. Elizabeth's been using it anytime like we want to watch something. We just like sit down on my desk.
You really just betrayed me like
100% yes.
wow. I'm honestly
How much did
You
it cost to ship that fucking chair?
to ship it? Oof. It's gonna be a good like it's gonna be a pretty penny, honestly. It's a
that
it's a
is
big chair.
crazy to me.
Like it's a you know how like gaming chairs are? Imagine
Yeah.
that, but it like put on some pounds. Like it's a
Oh my
very like
god.
beefy sort of
Beefy.
setup,
Thick. Thick old setup.
We
essentially. Yeah.
found we found Nate's computer chair at not a Goodwill, but like a thrift store on sale for like $15. It was originally $30.
Not bad, honestly.
Just at the thrift store. It's not bad.
No,
Yeah.
it was a pretty good deal, to be honest.
That's when I was in Seattle, that's what me and Sean would do. We would just go into like the fucking, what is it called? Not Old Navy. Is it? No. That one thrift store that's like everywhere.
I forgot.
I'm bad at names.
Goodwill.
Goodwill, there you go. We would go to Goodwill, and that's how I got my desk and my chair and like a couple other shit. Just go there. Honestly, it was kind of fun. Just hanging out in Seattle with Sean. We have like completely different personalities, but it really kind of worked.
I mean, how is he? What is he even
I
doing?
don't know. I have no idea.
I mean,
I haven't talked to him
Yeah.
in 2.5 years now.
That's so
Damn.
crazy.
Like legit.
Did y'all have a falling off, or did y'all just stop talking?
Well, I dropped out of college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, James went. How did it? Why did you drop out, James? I forgot.
Literally, it was just the because I already worked on a game with Nate. I was already in a situation where I didn't quite. Yeah, I already had experience, so I wasn't really going to college for experience at that point. I was just kind of going in to make connections and like find people to talk to and whatnot. That's really all it was.
Well, I mean, you were upgrading your skill set too. Well, you thought you were.
No, I was hoping to,
unfortunately,
but nothing happened. Yeah,
See, that's the difference between you and me. Is like we're going into different things, obviously, and I'm going into graphic design, but I
honestly,
feel like I'm learning a lot because
graphic design is pretty great.
I was never like an artist before. I'm like a graphic designer, but I'm not like an artist like you would say. Like I can't draw or anything like that.
Yeah.
But she's good at design, so like a UX designer or something.
Honestly, you can get a lot more jobs a lot faster than I can.
Really?
Sincerely, yeah. It's a pretty sought after job.
Well, the graphic design job outlook in general is like 1%, but there's so many jobs you can get with a graphic design degree that I was just like,
100%.
Just gonna do it. Right now, I haven't fully decided if I want to be a UX UI designer for like a tech company, or if I want to be a UX UI designer for like physical products. Either one I'm kind of liking right now, but I have plenty of time to figure that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I get like emails almost every other day about like different jobs and whatnot that I could be getting.
Mm-hmm.
And because I live so close to Seattle, so there's a bunch of job agencies here.
Yeah.
And I keep getting the same thing where it's always like, hey, do you want it to, or this company is looking for a UI artist or a what is it? I think a VFX artist. It's those two.
Uh-huh.
Like people are looking for those jobs like almost every day now. And I kind of wish I spent a bit more time in design.
I mean, shit, you don't need a degree for any of that. You just have to have like experience and like a good portfolio is all they want nowadays in the tech field. I mean, certain places want a degree, but not all of them do. That's the awesome thing about the tech community right now.
My issue comes down to I've already spent so much time in this specific skill.
Yeah.
So
you don't want to start over.
Yeah, that's essentially.
But you could always like expand your horizon a little bit. And like try to find a job where you could do something a little bit different, but it would still tie in a lot of things you already know. I couldn't give you any exact examples on what that would be, but
Yeah, I honestly don't know. What about you, Nate? How's it going with your career?
I mean, no, I'm out here making big moves, man.
Yeah.
I try.
I mean, you started the podcast, yeah.
No, I mean, I honestly have seen my skill level increase since I started. But I mean, it's weird to think about. At one point, I was just trying to be a game designer for the rest of my life, and I can't. It's hard to picture how I'm in a complete different place now.
Yeah,
I don't know if that makes
kind of
sense.
always is.
But...
Yeah, we all kind of
I do miss
took pretty
making
different
games.
paths.
I think it's funny how we're all in different paths, but we're all kind of related tech-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna be a nurse, and that didn't happen. So.
I mean, no, you can always be a nurse still.
The only reason I didn't want to be a nurse is because you'd never have the opportunity to grow. Isn't the word, but like I'd never have the opportunity to do what I want, if that makes sense, or ever be my own boss or anything like that. You just always have to work for somebody else. So
That's one thing I don't like.
I wanted
Yeah.
more opportunity to be able to have more flexibility, I guess.
Yeah, it's rare to be able to get in a good situation where you could do that. You always have to already have the skill or just know a lot of people. That's generally what it comes down to.
For sure.
You guys hear my keyboard?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, it's not too bad. Weren't we just talking about this like what, a year ago? And you're complaining to James.
We always talk about this. Yeah.
We always talk about your keyboard.
I think to be friends, you have to have this.
Is that what you think?
I mean, to be honest, it's required.
Is it now?
I mean, what would you do without me, James?
Without you? Oof, that's a hard question to answer there.
Oh, don't even say you'd be better off. That's better not be what's about to come out of your mouth.
It's a tough call there, Nate. Tough call.
Oh, I really still want to know what happened to Mr. Blakeney from YB Tech.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's like exposed. Crazy. I tried Snapchatting his son, and his son never added me back as a friend.
Just completely ignored you.
Yeah, so.
It's kind of funny though.
We may never know. Oh, really? Why is that funny?
I mean, yeah, actually.
I mean, kids looked up to me. You know, I was the god of YB Tech.
No. What?
As I remember it, James. I mean, I was
basically. As I remember it.
I was basically.
No.
I was basically in charge. I mean.
It's funny.
I mean, I don't know why you're laughing.
Because it's funny. That's why.
I don't know. Anyways, so tell me about your the game you're making right now.
Or don't.
Oof.
I mean, you don't have to, but you know, give my viewers a little bit of some sauce.
Sorry, it's just funny. Just the. Never mind. It's hard to say, really. I don't know.
How many people are you working with?
How many people am I actually working with, or how many people am I working with?
Both.
What's the difference?
Because there's people on the team who do nothing, and there's people on the team who do stuff.
Oh, is
it?
Ooh, burn! Hope they don't see this. Ooh, burn!
No, they know.
Is it one?
It's not much of a secret.
It's one of those type of open source type projects.
No. Oh. No, it's not like that. It's just.
Oh, it's like the people we used to hire.
It's like people who are just. No, we never hired anyone, Nate. What?
Well, we never paid them, but I mean.
No, we just never hired anyone.
Yeah, we had that one artist, and I remember you got into a fight with him over Discord.
Oh.
And he quit.
Well, we never paid him.
Oh. Yeah, you gotta tell Liza about that. Those two.
Oh.
I'm ready.
I don't think you are. That's the thing. Um, realistically, with just to sum up the story that Nate is talking about,
Mm-hmm.
um, the person we found some guy who wanted to like help out or some shit, and he had a bit of an ego, is really what it comes down to.
A bit.
Which is fine. Like his stuff wasn't god awful, but it's like he really didn't know what he was doing. Like he thinks he was, but he really didn't. Like his texture work was bad, to say the least. And
Burn, I hope you don't see this.
I hope he does.
Oh, yeah. We saw his art, and it was all like, what was it?
Bad.
No, there was like something to it. It was like a cartoon look.
Yeah, he made stuff in the past, is what it comes down to. And it was not good.
I mean, we just needed somebody. I think it was like almost at the end of our project, and we were like freaking out. Wasn't it?
No. We just, it's hard to say because it really, there was no end to the project to begin with. But essentially it was we were just in the project and we needed some help, and the guy who we asked for help, he thought he knew what he was doing, but he really didn't. That's really what it is. Like I don't know what to tell you, man.
Well,
like he just didn't know what he was doing.
I got a bachelor's degree or something. He went to game design school.
That doesn't mean shit. That really doesn't.
Well, yeah, clearly, because you went, so I mean.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did go, and I know now for certain that it means nothing.
I think you're a really good artist, especially for not getting like a primary education. You know what I mean? Like you taught yourself, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really good at drawing, but it's a whole other thing to do 3D art.
I feel as if 3D art should be easier in a sense. Just because there's a lot of ways you can cheat around to get what you want. So I get pretty confused why people aren't doing, why it takes so long for people to get to a good point, and why people go to school to begin with. Because really, you could legitimately just go to to a camp or some shit, or honestly just go on YouTube.
I mean, that's
and like pay literally nothing. That
boot camp.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's just a lot of people don't have that. What's it called? Discipline. You know, like I did self-teaching like before I started.
Hey, babe. I don't think your stuff's working.
What?
What?
I'll look at it.
Are you mad?
No. Just I
No.
Should be.
On my end, it's not. Maybe give me your phone. Maybe it's being weird because I'm on a call. But yeah, nothing's happening.
Working on Twitch.
Not for me. But I also don't have an account. I'm just on Twitch. Nothing's happening.
Yeah, I'm live on Twitch, but YouTube's being kind of garbage.
Does it record? Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, it should be streaming on,
Can you see these?
Yeah. It just says waiting for Nate the Dev. Waiting for what? Remember when we used to do these streams, James, and,
See, look at. Are you there, James?
Yeah, I'm here. You didn't really ask much of a question.
Remember when we used to do these streams on
We did like 2.
we did them all the time.
There was more than 2.
I still have them.
Well, sort of.
Unless Nate did them by himself.
Oh, he made a couple by himself, like 1 or 2.
I would never make any by myself.
You did though. You also did like some weird playthroughs and shit. I don't.
Oh, don't bring up the playthroughs. I don't want to hear about it, James.
Why not, Nate?
That was a terrible time in my life.
Who was it?
Oh, I mean,
Nah, you'll be fine, Nate. It's not the worst thing in the world.
the other day I found a stream on, what was it? Unity, when we were making the Unity version of
Oof.
that. That was just
Oof.
pure classic.
Yeah, honestly, when I think back at those, I don't really think we were doing all that much wrong. There was like some fundamental stuff that we were missing, but we were on like a decent path and getting a lot more shit done than most people.
That is true. I mean, how old were you? I was like 16.
Yeah.
Why don't you just learn to code with me, James?
Why?
It'd be so much cooler, you know?
No.
Yeah, just come, hang out, you know, code. Just learn to code out of nowhere. I could really see it happening.
That's an awful idea, Nate.
I tried to get Elias into it, but he wasn't really.
Oh, I almost fell asleep.
It was not that boring.
It's just not my thing. I mean, I have to learn like some basics of it, but
The basics.
like HTML, CSS, stuff like that, because I want to have that under my belt. But it's just not the most fun for me.
Yeah.
Why would I do that when you could do it for me?
Whatever. I got time to do that. Yeah, YouTube's being so weird. It's showing my stream as a. Oh.
You didn't click a button, did you?
It was private. Yeah, the stream was private.
So is it better now? Like HTML.
Yeah, it's on there. Alright, everything's fixed. Everything's been fixed. How's Elizabeth?
Good. She's her mom just had another kid.
Jesus.
Yeah.
How old is her mom?
Dude, I don't know. I don't ask such questions.
Should give me some work soon here.
Give you work?
Yeah,
like what?
Let me make you a portfolio website.
Yeah, true.
I don't really need one, being honest with you.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Well, if you look at yeah, I have ArtStation. That essentially it already is a website. I don't need to like get all fancy and whatnot. I could if I really wanted to. But no one ever really needs that kind of thing. It's really what it comes down to.
I guess maybe it's just at least in my career you need it.
Yeah, in your career, yes. But that's because it's difficult to show code as it is.
Yeah.
So having one spot where you have all your applications and stuff like that, that's super useful. So you definitely need your own website for that. For something like programming, or not programming, arts, I don't. Yeah, just go on ArtStation or fucking really whatever, and it gets the job done.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but well, here in the future, I'm gonna be my like, my logo guy.
Your girlfriend literally getting into that?
Yeah, but it's just a whole nother thing to like force your significant other to also do it for you.
I mean, I'm
That's
gonna
fair.
probably
That's fair.
force you to make my portfolio and stuff. So
I mean, but I like that stuff. I don't want to force other people to do it.
I don't mind helping you, but James is better at like the detailed stuff. I can make basic things
Back when I used
at
to,
this time.
back when I used to force James to build models out like a slave. James was
I
like
mean-
my Mongolian slave in the basement.
Mongolian slave. Jesus.
Yeah, just working away, making
It.
like 40 models a night, and I'm like, you're not meeting quota.
I'm still making like 40 models a night.
So are they
Um,
gonna pay you if the game makes money?
they've already offered to pay me. I've turned them down though.
What?
So
Wait.
So you're
So-
doing it
Why?
for free?
am I doing work for free? Yes.
There's no. You don't even have to answer it. That's what exactly what it is. Why would
Yeah,
you do that?
100%. So what's going on right now is the project that they're working on. It's a good project and whatnot. And they have like a decent following. The issue is that they're still like starting up. So I'm helping them out to like do a bunch more shit, and I'm like doing a lot of the essentially the back end work for them, like doing literally all of the visuals. The issue is if I go in right now and I start asking for money, they're not gonna have enough cash to really last all that long.
Oh, okay.
So
you're
what
just
I'm
gonna,
doing
like,
is essentially
Trying to
I-
look out
I'm-
for the company.
I'm just trying to make them as much money as I can, and like grow them. That way they reach a point where they can pay me, and at that point I don't need to worry about them going under.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
That's really what the thought process is. It's also I already have money saved up, so I'm not like dying right now. Yeah, more money is always great, but it's not the end of the world if I don't have like another fucking $100 or whatever in my bank account.
So I mean, how many months can you live off of right now?
Oof, that's a good question, Nate. That is a really good question. It depends on how this COVID shit goes down. That's really what you should be asking.
What
If
do you mean?
if the COVID thing only lasts for a couple more weeks, then I'm fine. If it lasts for a couple more months,
Well,
then
I
at that
mean,
point,
what were
yeah,
you
that's another
doing-
story.
I mean, what were you doing anyway? Just make money.
Uh,
Just freelance stuff.
Kind
Literally
of a
just
personal
freelance.
question.
It's just freelance. I don't mind personal questions
James,
a lot,
I've been selling my
to an
body.
extent. I wouldn't go that far.
Oh. I mean, I'm honestly surprised you haven't found like a professional job already. 'Cause
I know,
I-
right?
it's super good.
I've gotten offers and I've done like a bunch of what the fuck are they called? Art tests and whatnot. So people have already noticed my work. The issue is the places that have noticed my work are in fucking New York and like Florida, and I'm not moving there. And
That sucks.
other places, or I've also had stuff like what's it called? Fuck, I can't remember the name. Like job agencies who like give me art tests and told me like, hey, can you do this, this, and this, and we can like put in your portfolio to like this and this company. And I'm like, yeah, perfect, I'll do that. And I spend like a week or two like setting up like a big portfolio piece and like doing this and that. And then like, oh, sorry, like just 2 or 3 days ago, like the job was full. Like they just didn't tell us anything. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, so it really comes down to that kind of thing where it's there is relying on job agencies. There's like a bit of a buffer that I have no control over. And because I have no control over that, it's super easy for me to just kind of be like forgotten
Mhm.
when like important shit like that is coming up. So
Gotcha.
it's whatever. Realistically, it's I'm kind of like what I'm doing right now, just being this free. Like I still have money in my account. I can realistically make whatever the fuck I want to. and I'm not gonna like starve in a grave because of it. And it's that kind of it's essentially what me and you, Nate, wanted to do for like the longest time. Just want to be able to work for myself, pretty much.
Yeah.
I can choose what jobs I take on. I can pretty much just I don't know. That really is what it is. It's just that freedom is always just nice.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely one day want to just be able to work, you know, for myself or at least
One
make
day.
something, you know. I mean, because I don't live to work, I work to live. And if that means,
Yeah.
you know, I have to work for a little bit in life and get somewhere with some money and then be able to enjoy life, you know, like with a family, that's a lot better than having to work forever.
I'm the exact opposite.
You
I feel
want
like
to work?
I absolutely feel like I'm gonna spend the rest of my life just nothing but working.
Well, is that what
Really?
you want to do though?
Yeah, it is what I want to do. I
Ugh.
don't feel like I can just chill the fuck out. I don't know.
Sir, you're under arrest. No. I mean, I do understand that though because I mean, I guess, you know, shit gets boring. I I feel
Yeah.
like I might want to take like, you know, a year here and there, you know, and then get another job or something, but only because I want to see
I feel
other things in life and not have to be constricted to just, you know, a job. That's also
Yeah.
why I want to work remote.
It's hard to say. I think yeah. I don't know. It's tough. I have a mindset of if you find a job you enjoy, you will do that forever. But if you find a job you are like about, then you'll probably just switch your job later on. You just find something else. And currently, I like what I do, so I don't feel the need to like switch profession. I don't feel like at any point I'm gonna stop doing game development, just because it's like if I work for like a AAA company or something like that, and I'm forced to make like just random models that I don't give a shit about, then yeah, absolutely, I'll definitely quit eventually. But if I just do like freelance work or do indie work for the rest of my life, I feel like I'd actually be kind of happy.
Yeah.
I could definitely see myself doing that, but I don't know if I could see myself working forever. But I feel like if I did remote or I was making like something that would progress my own success, I'd be all on board for it.
Are you looking
Yeah.
at your comments?
Oh.
Why?
Do you have people actually watching?
No, I don't know. Oh, look, there's JC. No, I couldn't see them. Sorry.
Hmm.
They were super like. Buddy JC and Eliza. Well, at least we got one person watching. James,
Are you archiving these?
What do you mean?
Archiving them, saving them, putting them up for later?
No, this is live right now.
Yeah, but are you not saving it for later?
You'll be able to watch it after.
Well, yeah, that's archiving them, dude. What?
Oh, I thought you meant like.
Like, is it gonna
privating it.
upload to YouTube, or are you gonna like have a saved version of this
Yeah.
after it's done being live? Is what he was asking.
Yeah, it'll be uploaded to YouTube after.
Okay.
Why? So you can
Yeah,
go
you
watch
should be good.
me after.
No, that's not why at all.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I see how it is.
I'm glad we're on the same page, Nate.
It's whatever. I'm not even mad.
Good.
But I mean, I know you think I'm cute, James. Anyways, tell us. I don't think we ever introduced you, babe.
I'm the girlfriend.
That's not all you are. I mean, like, Talk about what you're going to school for and do.
I'm the girlfriend. I'm going to school for graphic design, like I literally said earlier.
Yeah, but you don't really talk much about it.
I'm a freshman in graphic design at a normal college, so I'm mostly doing not design courses.
Okay. Sorry.
Taking gen eds right now.
Oh yeah, can we talk about college? BS, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I'm literally taking a bunch of classes this summer that have nothing to do with my degree.
Yeah, I told you why I switched to a boot camp, right, James?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
just,
you grazed past it and then ignored me for a month.
hey, not in front of my friends.
Yeah.
Why do you gotta keep doing this to me, James?
Because it's funny.
Oh, it's not.
You're fine. You know, I
I know you love me.
I wouldn't go that far. Does it?
I mean, it kind of hurts.
Oh, nah, you're fine.
Oh, I definitely should talk to you more. It's just like,
Well, now that he streams, y'all will
Honestly,
probably
I
talk
don't.
a lot more.
No, I doubt it. I think this is gonna be the first time Nate streams, and
the last time.
he's gonna forget about it
You
immediately.
invested too much money in all the microphone stuff. It's too late.
I don't think it is. Being honest with you, I don't think it is.
What does that mean, James?
I think that you get distracted easily.
Well, the thing is, James, you can't see what he's doing, but the whole point of him streaming is he's gonna talk to someone or just talk himself. Well, all he's doing right now is programming while we're talking to him.
Yeah.
So it gives him something to do while he's programming, which he does all the time.
Yeah, when.
True,
But we never told James that.
Yeah, I guess I should have told you that, but yeah, when I'll be doing this on my own, it'll be more of like seeing how I do things. Right now,
Yeah.
it's just us, obviously. But in the future, you can always join those too. It's just, I mean, everybody does gaming, you know, and
True.
We've noticed, or he's noticed, some things where people do like live streams of like programming and people actually like it. So
yeah, and if I could do something,
It's
I
a very
actually
chill
like,
thing. Yeah, programming is very chill. It's I think people just kind of like it purely for the fact that you just have someone to talk to. Usually, there's like music playing in the background, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
that's copyright.
Well, you can play like certain things in the back, but not everything. Because then they really will get you, like on site. They will take you down so quick, especially because with this whole black rights thing, they'll get me.
Shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to do this more, James.
How long are you even planning on having these podcasts last?
What?
Because the podcasts are usually anywhere between 1 to 2 hours.
Probably.
So is that the plan?
Well,
sometimes it all depends on how he's feeling.
yeah. I mean, they don't decide what I'm gonna be doing, like if I don't feel like I'm gonna do it 2 hours, I will do as long as I want. But
maybe he'll stay up all night and do like 13 hours. Maybe he'll do 45 minutes and be like, bye.
yeah, it's more just how I feel, and if I'm feeling
That's
it,
fair.
then
It's just kind of something fun to do while you're programming, and
Yeah, I get that.
some people like watching that stuff.
yeah, and plus like I could do streams where like I'm actually doing like making something bigger. You know what I mean? But this won't be all what I'm doing. But this.
Y'all can stream together and do a split screen. James will talk about what he's making, you'll talk about what you're making, and then you'll both just do it. It'll both be on the screen,
Oh my god.
and
James.
you'll just talk.
It's gonna be like good old times with Nate Ruland.
It'll
Yeah.
bring in 2 full separate groups of people. People that like the stuff that James does and people that like the stuff that you do. And it'll be perfect.
You know what that reminds me of, James?
What's up? What the original plan was?
No. Nate Ruland. And what was the other kid's name? Zach?
Zach, something.
Can't do full names.
Oh yeah.
No, don't worry about it. Those kids are either long gone or long dead.
Jeez, dude.
Am I wrong?
No.
Exactly.
Oh, Nate Ruland actually texted me not that long ago.
What?
He was just asking
I like
me
how you
how I
keep
was
saying his like
doing.
full name.
Oh,
Yeah, continues to do it.
hey. Gotta do what I gotta do.
I guess.
No, that I don't know. I miss those kids in that class, but at the same time, not really.
Yeah, same.
Dang, I had a big old sneeze, and I just completely muted it, and I didn't even have to mute my mic. Beautiful.
I did not hear a single sneeze and I'm sitting right next to
I
you.
know, and I just sneezed hard.
You need a tissue.
Don't tell me what I need.
I said, do you?
Oh, no.
That'd be a good podcast topic. Just argue. People can
Arguing
listen to
between
us scream
couples.
at each other.
Honestly,
I mean,
not the worst idea.
You know what you should go do right now, James?
What's up?
Get Elizabeth and hop on this.
She's over at her mom's house right now. She just had the baby.
Tell her to get on the phone.
From her mom's house, just like, hello? The baby's sleeping. We're just like, woo! Just screaming in the background. So does Elizabeth live with you now?
Yeah.
So she finally did, like, move in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. 'Cause I know
She's been here for about 6 months now.
Dang.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. Nothing's really happened, honestly. I've just been working, and she's been doing her own thing.
Really?
Yeah, it's been pretty chill. We have like a cat and a dog.
Oh, what a
They,
couple.
both of them are in heat right now, so it's not the funnest.
What, do you have dogs?
I have one dog and one cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have a dog.
Little cuties.
Yeah, I saw the pictures on Instagram.
Named James Jr.
Could
What?
be a dumb name. Come here, James. What? I'm working. No, come here, James. The other one.
Yeah, that pretty much would be how it is.
Nah.
I don't like the idea of naming animals after like their pet.
Their owners. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
It's like people names and pet names should be separate. It gets really awkward when you name your kid or your dog something like Steven, and then like you find out that your cousin's name is also Steven.
Steve-O.
And there's like a weird kind of a thing going on there.
A Steve-O movement.
Essentially.
I don't know. Maybe, once I get like a good job, I'm just out here hanging out.
Hanging out?
Yeah, maybe I'll actually be able to start working on a game or something in my time again.
No, you won't. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me.
How do you
Don't
know
try to get
that?
my
You
hopes
don't
up for no
know that,
reason.
James.
I know this state.
Nobody has ever said these things.
You make too many promises.
Says who?
Says me.
Dang. You're just freaking going after me. Cutthroat.
Not really. I'm kind of being a little tame, actually. I'm joking. You're fine, Nate. Realistically though, I don't know. Would you actually want to still make games? Because you seem to very much just kind of moved on.
I really do miss the process. I wanted to make sure I could do something that I could like secure. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. That can't happen.
Why?
Like you need to make shit to be in a situation where you can make shit like that happen.
Well, I mean, you could do that.
Yeah, you could.
But I just need more time in the day. It feels like I just never have time.
And no one ever does. No one ever does. That's the thing.
It just feels like, especially when I was working, you know, as much as I was, I felt like I never had time. I mean, I'd be on my computer for a long time, but by the end of it, I'd be like, wow, I have no time.
Yeah.
But realistically, I have an insane amount of time now. Now I can actually get things done.
Wait,
So,
I have a
who
question.
knows? Maybe I'll be into it again. What's up?
Are you playing music in the background right now?
No.
Why not?
Why?
Because podcasts are so fucking awkward when it's just silence.
But we're talking, James.
Yeah, but there's like in between silence, in between like pauses and stuff. You know?
Yeah, I guess.
It's
The
up to you.
podcasts I listen to don't have music in the background.
Well, they're missing out.
Oh, that was remember the remember we'd listen to Beethoven? Well,
We listen to a lot. We listen to Earth, Wind and Fire, Beethoven. Listen to what the fuck was that one called?
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi. Which is that the southern ones that you'd keep listening to that were little
Can't say that out loud.
What?
Those are all joke songs.
I think out of everyone here, Nate, you're probably the only one who could say that you listen to that. Although people would have a lot of questions. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sure from that people can already get the sense of what kind of songs they were.
It was always a joke. I've always been a good old.
It's always a joke, Nate.
Good old joke.
That's the issue.
No, definitely miss you, James.
No, you don't, Nate.
I do.
You think
should
you
just come visit?
Yeah, just
Yeah, just come
get up and
visit.
go. How the fuck am I gonna do that? What the fuck?
Classically, or-
Buy a ticket.
Yeah.
You know what? Fair enough.
Thanks, you got that.
You know
Gotcha.
what? Yeah, I'll just spend whatever money I have left. Actually, plane tickets are relatively cheap right now. I don't know. I could probably get a round trip. The issue is by the time I come back, I need to get a job immediately. It's
Immediately.
yeah.
Like where?
I'd still have money left up, but it's like
I mean, it's been a while.
probably not enough to like live comfortably.
Yeah. Well, is Elizabeth working?
Right now, no, because of the whole
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Eliza just got a job,
Nice.
and
Weren't you guys working at like a convenience store?
what? No, we were both working at
Look at your comments.
There's Emilio. What did he say?
I don't work at a grocery store
He
anymore.
said Dale. What's up, man? Yeah, no. We worked.
I
at a
left
grocery store,
there
and then she left.
forever
I still
ago.
work there, though.
Hmm.
Yeah, she sold out.
My managers hated me, and I didn't like. Well, one of my managers
Douglas.
didn't like
Oh my
them.
God.
Didn't like me. Never got along. All my coworkers would be like, "Why is he only like that with you? Like he would talk to me and just like down to me and just like rude for no reason." And the other girls would be with me and they'd be like, "Why does he only talk to you like that?" And I'm like, "I literally have no idea. I've worked here for like a month."
Well, a lot of people say I don't know that. Like that.
Yeah, but some of the girls were so shocked with how he just talked to me, and I'm like, I have no idea. He was just, in nice terms, he was just very rude and would go out of his way to piss me off.
Rude is selective people.
Yeah, and then one day him and another manager just really set me off, and now I put in my 2 weeks.
Mm,
And then
that's always fun.
Tom fired me, the big manager. I've never put in my 2 weeks and not been fired.
Really?
Ever. Anytime I've put in my 2 weeks, I've been fired.
That's another can of worms. Yeah, that happened to a lot more people than it probably should. It's a.
I mean, it didn't bother me. I was just trying to be like respectful, you know. Put in your 2 weeks, and then they're like, "Oh no, you can just go. We're done." And I'm like, "Okay." Yeah, so it's just like, okay, cool with me.
Cool beans, my guy.
The reason why they do that is that way you don't have to pay, or they don't have to pay. What the fuck is that called? Okay, I'm so bad at remembering words when I need them.
Well, no, I thought if you got fired, you were allowed to get unemployment.
Not if you quit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never gotten unemployment before.
Yeah, I avoid that stuff. It's too complicated.
Emilio got.
You have to fill out so much paperwork, and you have to like constantly send in reports like once a week. It's too much work.
Y'all want to hear some stories of how I've got fired? I've got fired for putting in my 2 weeks. What? 2 times? I got fired for putting in my 2 weeks after my boss got mad at me because I got in a car accident and my shoulder was broken after she had me work like an 8-hour shift on the busiest day alone in a Starbucks, right? It was the busiest day we had. I had a sling on my left arm because my shoulder was broken. She let me be the only person working, and the line was like 10 people deep the entire morning, and everyone was being a complete jack off to me. And then after that, after I went and saw my doctor after that, she said I needed to stop working for a little bit because of my shoulder. And she like went off on me because I couldn't come into work because my doctor said, and then I put in my 2 weeks, and then she didn't put me on the schedule as like payback for me not coming in.
I can't believe you. I don't know. I think
Jobs are so fun. Oh, I got fired another time for I told my boss, I was still in high school, I told my boss that I had exams on Monday and Tuesday, and I was originally off the schedule on Monday and Tuesday because I originally asked for it. And he texted me on Monday while I was at school and said, "You need to come in at this time." And I said, "I can't. I already had these days off and I have exams tomorrow." And he fired me.
Where was that at?
Nice.
Pizza and Sub.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic. Terrible job.
They also accused me of doing cocaine in the bathroom when I was like 16 years old.
Jesus.
So there was it's a small place that I worked at, and there was only a bathroom in the back. So like if customers came in the front and they asked to use the bathroom, it's like a really small place, like people understand or whatever. You'd have to like come to the back door because we couldn't have you walk through the kitchen, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
You have to like walk through the back door of the building to go to the bathroom. They had a customer go in there and whatever. And then I went in there because I, had to go to the bathroom. Came out, and then they found a Coke bag in there, right?
Oh, nice.
And they accused me of doing Coke in the bathroom. I was literally like, 16, maybe. I was like almost 17 years old, and they were like, "You were doing Coke in the bathroom?" And I'm like, oh my god. Literally didn't. It was literally the customer before me, and just didn't notice a Coke bag on the floor. In the corner, or whatever they said it was.
I mean, you just gotta eventually realize that all minimum wage jobs are just... I mean, you're not... It doesn't get much better, but...
Sadly, you're not wrong.
I've just had a lot of bad experiences with jobs. I mean, it hasn't everyone, though, but I don't know. Some of my friends can get pretty lucky, and they'll, like, keep the same, like, job for such a long time, and I'm like, wow, can't relate. I like the job I have now.
What are you even doing right now, by the way? If you don't mind me
I work in
asking.
a deli at like a health food mini store.
Oh, that sounds not that bad.
It's super laid back. Like I was super confused when I first started. I'm like, wait, you guys actually care about your employees? What? You get a paid lunch and free food for lunch? Like, I was like, what? And then on my first day, my manager, she doesn't ever come out and like bug you and like breathe down your neck. Like she trusts her employees. That's also weird. Never had a boss that trusted their employees. Ever. Always breathing down your neck. What are you doing? What are you doing?
That's so true.
Literally so weird. I go into work and I'm like, wow. They literally do not care what I do. Well, they do, but you know what I mean.
No,
I don't know.
yeah, James was lucky enough to work at a good job.
Yeah, he's had
Hmm.
good experiences.
No, not even close.
Yeah.
Oh, did I ever fucking tell you what happened to my leg?
Oh, I think that's something.
What happened to your leg?
It got crushed
Yeah.
How?
in a dude. It's a whole it.
What job?
I worked at a furniture store,
Okay.
and they had a because it was like the second floor, or I guess ground floor, was like the display area where like the salespeople were and whatnot,
Yeah.
and underneath that was like the basement, which is like all the storage. There was some spot that also had displays, but it was mostly just storage. And they had a conveyor, just like a conveyor belt that takes furniture from downstairs upstairs.
You're scaring me.
Long story short,
You were in the wrong
like-
place at the wrong time?
yeah, I was the only one there. It was like on the weekends, and I was taking trash from downstairs to upstairs, and it was like a really like it was just fucking awful. Like it was not a situation you want to be in.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
You're not even giving the details when I'm
I don't.
judging.
I can tell you if you really want to.
How bad was it? Like what?
Oh,
What was
well,
the damage?
it squished my foot so much that my shoe was ripped off, and my pant leg was torn up. Like it looked like I got mauled by a bear.
That is
Oh my
insane.
god. What type of furniture was it? That's a
It
serious
was
question.
everything. It's like couches, beds, nightstands. It was literally everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so this was like a heavy duty conveyor
It didn't
belt.
break your ankle or anything?
So I can go into detail, but it's gonna sound so fucking bad. That's the
I'm
thing.
ready.
Okay.
I'm here
So-
for it.
Okay. So what happened was, essentially, there was no one there. So it was literally me, because it was on the weekend, and on the weekends it's really slow. So we only have
Mhm.
one person downstairs, just kind of chilling out. Anytime there's like a pickup, there'll be one person. It only takes one person to do that shit, which
Yeah.
it shouldn't, because it's like 300-pound furniture,
Yeah.
and all you have is like a dolly to move shit around and get on the person's truck. And when
Yeah.
you're yelling from downstairs to upstairs, it's not the greatest situation, but the conveyor belt is supposed to help with that. Anyways, I was downstairs cleaning up shit because the day before, it was just crazy. There was so much shit going on. We had to unpack a bunch of furniture, send it out, so on and so forth, because they do deliveries as well.
Mhm.
So I was taking shit up the conveyor belt, and I remember I was on there because essentially some of the trash was getting stuck. It wasn't stuck. It just wouldn't move because it was just on the
Mhm.
conveyor belt. So I had to get up on top where the rails were, there's like the conveyor belt that actually moves, and then there's like a rail system next to it that's like guardrails pretty much. So I got up on there and pushed it aside, and everything was fine. They kept moving, and that I basically like, like it's whatever. I remember specifically like the situation because I was thinking about someone who messaged. I won't say who. Someone was talking to me, and I was thinking about what they were saying,
Oh my
and
God, did I kill you?
I looked down, and I was going to reach for my phone, and I felt something tug at my leg,
Oh,
and
God.
then I remember the feeling of panic. Like I didn't see anything. I just felt my pant leg get pulled a little bit, and like immediately panicked. And then I felt the bottom of my shoe was like it basically just like the friction like pulled my pant leg just enough to where it could like make my leg kind of like bend a little bit. So the edge of my shoe was like facing downward towards like the little turning wheel things, what the fuck they're called. And it started sucking out my foot. And I immediately started panicking, and I didn't I remember I screamed, but no one was there, and that was like the fucking scariest part.
Oh,
and I was like
God.
immediately was like 100 thoughts per second, and so it was an experience. It essentially was
so-
one leg was stuck, the other one wasn't, but the other leg was on top of more rollers, so I didn't have
Oh,
anything like
God.
balance on. So what happened was I jumped down while one leg was getting sucked up. I hopped down, so my other leg was now on the floor, and I was grabbing on the edge of the conveyor belt while my leg was getting sucked in, and like feeling it getting crushed. And
I would quit right then and there. Just walk out. Don't call anyone. Don't
Well,
tell anyone.
yeah. The conveyor belt system has safety, like the buttons that you do to like make it go up, down, stop, and then an emergency stop. And there's 3 of them. 1 upstairs and 2 downstairs. The one downstairs, there was one about, I say like 4, maybe 5 feet away. And I remember looking at it and thinking, if I can't reach this, like I'm fucked. And I had a walkie-talkie with me, and I remember I grabbed it by like the antenna and started swinging it at the button, and I missed the first 2, and on the third one I pushed the emergency stop, and it stopped sucking my leg in. At that point I got my breath, and I was like still a little bit panicked.
Yeah.
But then I realized, like I pulled my leg and it was still in there, so I had to push the button to make it go in reverse and spit my leg back out.
Oh my goodness.
At that point it spit my leg out, and I sat on the floor, and then I went on the radio and started screaming or not screaming, I just like, hey, this is
I wouldn't want to
have-
kill anybody.
well, this is the thing. I have like a weird personality where it's like I'm not like, I was panicking internally. Like anytime I'm in front of a crowd or something, I panic internally. So in the exterior I seem very calm and collective, but the interior I'm like fucking panicking. So when I was like on the floor, like holding my foot, I got out the radio and I called, and I was like, hey, is anyone out there? I need someone to call the hospital real quick.
Actually, no, I wouldn't have quit the job right then and there. You know what I would have done? I would have limped so hard so the security camera
I could not
see.
move.
My
foot was numb. Oh, there was a security camera there.
Good. So they caught
but
it
it
on
was-
thing.
No,
lay
it was
there.
obstructed by the trash.
Oh my god.
So, and by the time the trash moved, I was already on the floor. Yeah. I remember, so I called someone to come down and help me out. And one of my coworkers, who was like one of the salespeople, she came in and she's like, I heard the screaming. Are you? And she like looked at me on the floor holding my foot, and she started freaking out. And I was like, calm down. Call the ambulance. And she's like starting to like tear up and like panic. And
This
I'm like,
isn't about
I need.
you, Rebecca.
And
Get
I'm
on
like,
the
I
phone.
need an ambulance right now because the pain hasn't kicked in yet. Because like my foot was numb. And she was like, okay, I'll call. So she called, and then she was calling in front of me. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah,
Like,
just finish
I
the
just,
call. Hurry,
just-
get them here now.
like, when do you think they'll be here? Like, they said that they're on their way. They'll be here in like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay. And I'm just thinking in my head is like, okay, 5 minutes of this. And the whole time I was just waiting for the pain to kick in. It was a whole thing. Then like the ambulance
Did you
came.
get good workman's comp?
No,
Or whatever it's called.
no, I can get there in a second.
Disability, James.
Um,
I could get it. You know I could.
So what happened was, the ambulance got there. I was on the basement, and there was no stairs or elevator. It was literally just a ramp and the conveyor belt. So they went downstairs, found me, talked to me for a bit, realized that the only way up was like through a steep ramp, I'd say like a maybe like a 35-degree angle, 30, something like that.
Jesus.
So it wasn't awful, but it was still steep.
Not good.
Yeah. So they brought down just a wheelchair, put me on top of it, and then like had to wheel me up. And I remember specifically telling him like, "Hey, I mean, you can put me back on that conveyor belt to get me up there." I said it as a joke, but I was like panicking in the inside. I was like, "Please don't actually go
Please
along
don't
with this.
actually
It's a
put me
joke."
on there.
After that, it was just got on the ambulance, talked to the guys there, gave me something. I don't know what it was, and it made me sleepy. And I was like, "Could I fall asleep? Like, is it okay?" And like, "Yeah, no, you're good. You're good." I'm like, "I'm not gonna do it anyways," just because I was still like panicked about it. I was just a little too freaked out.
They gave me morphine in my ambulance, and I passed out.
I think it was
but
morphine.
I also had a
It was something
concussion.
strong.
Oh yeah, they usually give morphine in an ambulance.
Yeah, and then I remember I got to the ambulance, and then it
And they
started
give you
like
Dilaudid at the hospital.
yeah, they gave me something else. I don't know if it was that. It was something, but it made me super emotional. And I remember I texted my girlfriend, and I was talking to the doctor while they were giving it to me, and I was like, is it just gonna make me tired? It's like, no, just make you emotional. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I should probably text my girlfriend now before I I get really emotional. So I texted her. I texted her, and I called her, and she started crying on the phone, and immediately I started crying.
Kicked in, yeah.
Yeah, and then she came to the hospital 10 minutes later, and the second she saw me, she started crying, and at that point, the drug was already in me for a good bit, so then I was just super emotional. It was a whole thing. To get to the workers' comp and all that, so they took care of the medical bills,
Good.
which was a lot for the fucking ambulance. Like, Jesus Christ. I saw the bill. Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
Sucks to be them.
But I didn't get any workers' comp. They put me on light duty,
Are you kidding?
and it was basically I had to go in on fucking crutches,
Oh my god.
and I would have to still work. And if I had no work, I would have to just sit around, because they didn't want to send me home early, because if they sent me home early, they would have to pay me.
Oh my god. Didn't you work for a big corporation?
Yeah.
So they have plenty of money.
Yeah. Absolutely. But they don't want to increase their... I literally... At this point, I was... So what happened was, when I should probably preface this, because the place was a lot, really bad, and I didn't say anything about how bad it actually was. Essentially, I think 2 days as soon as I joined, one of the assistant supervisors quit. And then 2 months later, or 3 months later, my supervisor quit. And then they left me and another guy in charge, who were both only there for he was in there for a month before I joined. So I was there for about 4 months, and he was there for about 5 months. And they put both of us in charge.
That's crazy.
And we were like that for a while during the really bad time of the year where sales are super going up.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time it was literally just 3 of us. It was me, the guy who was there, and then his friend who he called, because no one else wanted to. Anyone who would get hired on, they would last a day or two, and they would quit.
It was that.
Wow.
It was bad. And at a certain point, it was a year later, we got a new manager, because our old manager quit. and that manager was like very managerial. He looked like the guy who would work like at fucking like the Apple store. Like super happy and like, come on guys, like we got this, like super energetic. Like you think he's on something, but you can't quite tell. That kind.
Quite put my hand on it, you know.
Exactly. And he was trying to get me to take up the supervisor role, and I would come up with excuses, but really I just knew how shitty it was, and I didn't want to take on responsibility like that.
Was it even worth that much more money?
No, it was like $1 more.
Yeah.
If even. I remember my supervisor who quit like 4 months after I joined, or 3 months I think. I remember he came back to pick up some furniture, and he asked us like, how's it going? And I was like, oh yeah, no, they're trying to get us to like take the role and whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, that's great. It's like, wait, how much are they paying you? And he asked us that, and we said I think at the time it was like $4.75, and he's like, what the fuck? Like that's only like $1 less than what I was making, and you guys are only here for a couple months. And it was great getting like a couple dollar boost because we started being in charge.
Mm-hmm.
But going from just some random like warehouse worker to like becoming the manager and only getting like $1 increase in pay, I did not want it.
Yeah.
So it was that kind of situation. It was just bad. And I remember I talked to one of the guys later on when my whole foot thing happened, and he told me that he had a friend who also got in an accident, but they would just put him on sick leave, or not sick leave, light duty.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he went home and was just getting workers' comp, they would increase the insurance on the company, and the company didn't want to pay more for insurance, and that's literally the only reason why they would do that.
That's crazy.
It was like the dumbest thing. Anyways, like a lot of shit happened, yada yada yada, and then pretty much I think it was like 3 months later after my kept getting paid whatever, and I just quit. And
Nice.
I've been doing this ever since.
Good for you.
There you go, Nate. There's an hour of content for you.
I know, I feel like you talked like forever.
Definitely about an hour. Yeah, my foot's fine now. I can walk around. There's a huge ass scar on it. I have some pictures I can send you
broken,
later.
Or
it was squished. Nothing was broken. Like nothing was fractured. Nothing
just
was
like messed
cracked.
up.
It was just like on your foot, how you have like the different like muscle tissue and whatever, like the little bumps and whatnot. All that shit got fucked up for me, so I couldn't move my toes.
Oh no.
And anytime I would try to like squeeze inward, my foot would spasm.
How was Elizabeth supposed to suck them toes?
Shut the fuck up.
I'm just sticking out them toes, bro.
I appreciate that, Nate. If anyone, I appreciate you. But yeah, no, it really was just a lot of tissue damage. Like I never really had much to worry about. I do now have a fear of conveyor belts.
Well, yeah.
And I can't get on a treadmill anymore without like feeling super like freaked out.
I couldn't imagine.
I fell on the treadmill and bust my lip open, and I had to go.
Well, it's for the physical therapy that I did, most of the time I was on a treadmill. So I would just look down and just think about my leg. Oh, dude, it was from the button. Like, I would have lost my leg, and it would just fucking gotten decapitated. It would have been a whole thing. I would have had to fucking break it off just to be able to, like, rip my foot out of there. Otherwise, it would take more, and I would be dead. Like, I would just think about this shit all the time, and it would fuck with me for, like, throughout the entirety of when I was going through physical therapy.
It actually got kind of dark.
It's not...
See?
I'm fine now. Like, I'm fine.
See, I got super lucky with like my dangerous, like traumatic, whatever you want to call it, experience. Because when like mine would be my car crash. Me too.
Damn.
Ooh, that looks
Hmm.
terrible.
Yeah, I have like my memory went in and out. I like remember certain parts. I remember when I woke up to my mom talking to me,
Jeez,
and
yeah.
it was like 6:30 in the morning, and my mom was right in front of me when I got in the crash.
Damn.
So she like whipped her car around and like blocked off the road or whatever. And it was like probably like 6. And Nate was at home sleeping, and she's like, "We gotta get a hold of Nate." So I remember trying to call him over and over again, and obviously he was sleeping.
What is that? Sweet?
And then I don't remember this, but I took a video of I have no memory of it until I found it in my phone later on.
Jesus. That's kind of scary, actually.
I know. I remember I needed to try to open my door, and that's when I realized that my arm was messed up, is when I went to open it with my left arm.
Wait, so then did he have like a concussion? Like a
Oh,
legit
yeah.
concussion? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Jesus.
I had like so the thing is, like, none of the glass broke, so I got hit in the back of my car on the right back side of my car, which spun me, but she also hit the front left of my car, so like right in front of my, like just in front of my door.
Damn.
So we don't fully know, but I ended up to the right of where I was in the first place, but we still never figured that part out. But I don't remember taking that video. I remember my mom trying to tell me to open my door, and that's when I started crying, because when I went to use my arm, I couldn't move it. It hurt really bad. And then I don't remember. I have a small memory of the guy I said my neck hurt, but it was more so just my shoulder. But it like shot the pain up my neck, so I thought my neck hurt. They pulled me out of my passenger side of my car because I couldn't open my door. I don't remember that. I remember being in the ambulance, and sitting next to me in the ambulance was like talking to the driver, and he was trying to put the needle in my hand, and I've gotten like blood work and stuff before. I've like donated blood. I know how my veins work, I guess. And I kept telling him it's not going to work in my hand. You got to do it in my right arm. And he's like, "Well, we have to try it in your hand." I said, "Nope, it's not going to work." When I woke up in the hospital, it wasn't in my hand. I had bruises on my hand from him trying. It was in my right arm. So yeah, they gave me morphine. I guess that's what someone told me, because like that's what they give you in ambulances. I was knocked out when I got to the hospital. All that, don't remember any of that. Apparently, when I got there, they put me through a bunch of X-rays. I don't remember that, except for they were like taking me off the gurney. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
To put me on the table to get an X-ray.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember any of that, but I do remember, I guess they were like picking me up by the blanket to put me on the table, right?
Yep.
The reason they were giving me X-ray was for my left shoulder, right? So the girl, or I don't know why I keep saying girl. I never looked at her. I just, for some reason, thought it was a girl because she was a bitch. Picked me. So the girl that was lifting me from my left shoulder, instead of grabbing the blanket, put her hand under my shoulder to pick up my dead body weight, because I'm passed out, by my broken shoulder, to pick up me. And I remember waking up and screaming. And
Jesus.
then the next time I woke up, I was in the room with Nate and my mom. It's so weird that I don't remember, but I'm glad I don't. Like, sure, spinning out
honestly.
wasn't very fun.
Honestly, that might be a good thing that you don't remember. It's
Yeah.
You would have probably been freaked out of driving cars for a while.
Oh, I was still for a while. I mean, like, even when I bought this new car, I think I bought it in, like, what, September, would you say, baby?
Yeah.
I got in my car crash in July, and I bought my new car in September, and I bought it without ever driving it. I made my friend test drive it that knew about cars. I didn't want to drive it. I still am scared to drive sometimes. I'm, like, super extra. Like, I don't know. If I don't think I can make a turn, I literally won't do it. And Mom or Nate or anyone would be like, "You literally have so much time." I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. It's called the same thing happened to Elizabeth. Definitely not to your extent, but she got
Oh, I was fine.
hit in
I
the
just had a
back.
concussion.
Well, yeah, but you still had to go to the hospital, and like Elizabeth, she got someone hit like the back of her car, and she like split out in the middle of the road, and she was just like super freaked out after that. She was like fine. She had like a bruise on her arm, but she just didn't want to drive for like a good like few months afterward.
I only
so,
started driving because I had to get to school.
Yeah, the same thing happened with Elizabeth. She had to start going to work.
Yeah.
And no one was able to drive her. What about you, Nate? Any really, really bad experiences?
Or like traumatic, scary experiences.
Probably just meeting me is probably the worst.
Oh, shush.
Man, that's where the cuteness
Work.
coming
It's
in.
called. But going to competition and losing was probably another one.
Honestly, that was honestly depressing. That was insane to me. I couldn't just wrap my head around the idiocy and the judgment.
Honestly, if I think about it
no,
now,
you know, they went too hard on us because we were
Well,
the
yeah,
in
yeah.
school, and then they were like, "Oh, dang, we accidentally put them in last place." But our game looked like 5 times better than the potato shooter the other kid made.
yeah, it's. I don't know, Nate. At this point, I've already moved on. I don't really care.
He hasn't. He has
They'll
not.
never move
I know.
Well, you know,
I
that
feel as if
completely
Nate has
changed
like
my life.
cold sweats about it every night.
I do. One day he will pay.
Just go to Microsoft and beat the shit out of him.
He works at Microsoft?
Yeah.
He was a
like
UI designer.
on the Xbox.
Yeah, he was on
Oh,
the
yeah.
Xbox branch. Yeah.
That was our mentor.
He was also the guy who fucked us. Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
just picture me brushing dust off my shoulder. Because I am.
Yeah, and then quickly flash back to the instance where you realized you got third place.
Here, James, I'll send you a link to stream so you can see what he's doing on his screen.
Give me some
Am I gonna be the
views.
second viewer on your stream?
I don't know.
Yeesh.
Honestly, it seems like it sometimes, you know?
Sometimes, yeah. I got a nice setup. I like the lights.
Yeah, I got this ring light.
You already are in? Oh, that's the cover. I was like, what?
Yeah.
How are you already in?
Oh, I was gonna say, I was like, yeah, you're not.
Oh
really-
Jesus, Nate, Jesus.
What?
What's with that cutout?
What cutout? Oh, me?
The blob?
Yeah.
We
Well,
made
it's-
that blob.
It's basically, I mean, I don't have a green screen, but I also don't want to show this entire camera.
How did you do that?
It's literally just a black image mask.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Just a filter right now.
I have your stream muted, that way I don't hear you twice.
Oh.
Yeah, just mute it or something.
Yeah.
We'll have to do like one where we're all video calling or something. I'm not sure yet, but
Ew, I don't want my face on.
what?
I'm good.
What'd you just
So that means I gotta get a camera, set up
You
everything,
don't have
like
a
fix my
camera?
background. What do you mean
That's
you
why
don't have
Nate has
to?
a blob, so he doesn't have to fix his
So
background.
you work
Yeah, exactly.
remote.
Fuck that.
You work remote, but you don't have.
I don't need to do video calls, dude. And if I do, I can just use my phone.
You're insane.
Am I?
Max is such a cutie boy.
Have
Are you
seen
still
our John?
watching the stream?
Have you
I
seen-
see.
James?
Yeah, I see Nate. Yeah.
Here, show James our puppy.
Guy right here. Oh, he's cuddly.
He's so tired.
He is. Look at him. Wanna say hi to the peeps?
To James?
This is him, James.
Yeah, you posted images of him on your Instagram, or one of you, both of you guys' Instagram, I think.
Both of us.
Yeah.
Go see mom.
Come here, baby.
Yeah, but that's
You got your 5 minutes of
actually
fame.
our son.
I birthed him.
I'm looking at the stream right now, and it's one person watching.
It's you.
It's me.
Listen, James.
That's so funny.
How many people are watching on your Twitch, babe?
I don't.
Is it working on Twitch?
Yeah, but I haven't checked.
Check. Ooh, you got an error?
Not anymore.
What's your Twitch looking like?
Just the best. I'm getting like so many people. One viewer. Sicko mode.
So, what are your plans, Nate?
For what?
In general, you just planning on just riding the wave, or you got any big plans in mind?
November. Isn't that crazy?
That's not that bad.
Like I'll be ready for like a professional career.
I
What
mean,
does that mean?
you'll probably spend like at least 3 months just looking for a job.
Well, yeah, of course, but
Yeah,
you know,
you'll be ready. You just
Yeah.
that
Oh my God,
doesn't really mean
James.
much. What's up?
I have to ask you a question.
What's up?
So Nate and I have tickets to go to a Harry Styles concert. The
Oh
tour
my
starts
God.
18 days. The whole
Uh-huh.
tour starts. Our
Yeah.
concert is on July 17th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think he's gonna cancel it?
Do I think they'll cancel it?
Yeah. Everything else, people already like moved their shit to like 2021, but he hasn't yet. And the tour starts in like 18 days. And everyone keeps posting like, oh, he just forgot to tell everyone it's canceled. Like jokes like that. But like, it's pretty close.
I think even if he doesn't cancel it, you probably shouldn't go.
Wow, James.
Literally going.
You know how much those tickets were?
A couple, like 80
No, like
per?
I have been obsessed
200
with
per
Harry-
ticket? Jesus.
No, it wasn't.
No, 200 total.
Oh, well, okay. That's what I said.
Yeah,
Never
so like
mind.
I have been obsessed with Harry Styles for so long. I am not missing that concert, but I am.
Quick question. Who is
Yes.
Harry Styles? I'm bad at names. I can't. You gotta
Simp.
give me
Well,
more than a name.
this is gonna ruin it for you probably because this is kind of what ruined it for Nate. Because when he didn't really know who Harry Styles was, he was in One Direction.
Which one?
The one
which
with curly hair, dark curly hair.
Okay, I think I
I'll
can
send you a
imagine what he looks
picture of
like.
him. I'll
So,
send you a pic.
just going to a concert, that's it?
Yeah, in Detroit. I already bought the hotel room and everything, so they better not cancel it. Because then I gotta buy that shit again.
I mean, you can still go on vacation. You don't... Yeah.
I don't want to go to
Um,
Detroit without going to the concert. A
Yeah,
lot of gas money.
Not bad.
true.
Detroit's
This
on the
is...
other side of Michigan.
It's not the worst drive in the world. You're not going, like, out of state or anything. But it's not fun.
I think it takes this like close to the same amount of time to get to Chicago as it would to go to Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need good vibes. Manifest good vibes for me.
I can't do that.
Only the best.
Try.
I'm like the last person you should ask for that kind of shit.
For good vibes.
Yeah.
You can't just send me some good vibes.
I don't do good vibes, that's the thing.
You do negative vibes?
No, I don't do vibes in general.
Just like vibes, James. Just
Nah.
vibes.
I'm not playing this game with you, I'm sorry.
I'm just playing.
Love it, James.
I know.
Love the attention.
Not really.
Trying to find a picture to send you of Harry Styles.
I can already imagine what he looks like.
Nope, gonna show you anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
Time you plan on heading off, James?
Dude, whenever you want. I'm gonna be online all day. I have a lot of work to do.
All day. What time is it for you again?
I'm 3 hours behind you guys, I think. So I'm like at 7 p.m. Or 9 p.m., sorry.
It's 12 here.
So yeah, 3 hours behind.
Yep.
Super depressed.
Yeah. I've just been working nonstop. I won't say much about the demo, that way you have content for later. But right now we released it to like all Patreons. like Patreon members and like a
hell
select
yeah.
few VIPs.
I'll
Mhm.
download the game right now.
I think about a couple weeks ago we had a top tier Patreon release. So anyone who donated $100, they got that version.
How many people donated?
We had 6 people who've donated $100, and people who've
Wow.
donated in general. I don't know. I think it was like 20 something. Who just like donated anywhere between I think 5 to however much.
Dang.
I think 20 at the Patreons, and we have like different tiers,
Yeah.
and
So
we
I
have like a
just get
$50
silly
tier, but no
and
one's
cheap
donated to it.
seats.
Oh, what? I wasn't thinking of that guy. What the fuck?
What?
I was thinking of someone completely different.
That's why I wanted to send you a picture.
Of who?
Wait, One Direction?
Yeah,
That dude doesn't. I don't know enough about One Direction. I don't know.
he grew up. Hold on.
Are you guys really talking about Harry Styles?
But she sent me a picture of him. He's just wearing like a flowery T-shirt and some khakis or some
this
shit.
is like more him now, but like if you want to see him like from One Direction, I'll show.
I mean, I don't really want to.
Well,
James or Eliza's like, yeah, I'm gonna force my.
What was I gonna say? I forgot what we were talking about.
Oh,
Something
you
One
about
Direction.
the game.
me.
Oh yeah, that too, and that, yeah, totally. Oh yeah, I'm just working. So we released the demo right now to a good amount of people. Oh, ew! What the fuck? Jesus Christ!
what?
Thank you for telling her, James.
That's
He
from
did
like
it-
2010.
Dude, he did not look good back then. What the fuck? Now he
That
looks
was
like
like-
a human.
That
Back
was like
then, he looked-
2010. This is like 2015. So I sent 2020, 2010, 2015. So you get like all the 3 stages.
The image you shared right now, it looks like his eyebrows are leveled while his head is like tilted. I think that's what's bugging me right now. That last image though, he looks insane. I don't know what's going on there.
The last one?
Yeah, with the long hair, he looks insane.
How?
insane. You're literally like you're saying insane, James.
Yeah, he looks like something is deeply wrong with him.
You don't
And,
think it's
Just
a
a
little bit?
picture.
No one's helping.
It's a little bit off there. That one.
Probably, yeah. Probably not wrong.
Do you listen to the radio, James?
Do I listen to the radio?
Yeah.
Well, dude, what
I mean,
is
I-
this? The 1950s.
I listen to like the radio when I'm driving to the store, maybe. If
Well,
I
then you
feel lazy
probably
to connect my
heard
phone.
Harry Styles lately too. He's on the radio.
That isn't. I don't think that's how that works. There's different radio stations out there.
Yeah. What kind of radio station do you listen to?
Just
Oh,
whatever's
James is
on.
Like only the best.
Oldies.
Just
country.
probably some older stuff, not country.
You're not a country bum.
I like
Country's
country.
okay. I just don't listen to it. It's not something that I would just listen.
It's
If it comes
something
on, I'm
that
not
I
gonna,
think
like,
anybody
change it
just wants to
immediately.
listen to.
Yeah,
Read this message. Read these.
out loud
Funny.
or.
No, I'm showing
Oh, okay.
Nate something. Read those.
Read them out loud.
So what are you guys doing? Am I the only one here right now? Figured as much.
James, I'm always here for you, babe.
No, you're not.
No, I'm just reading the message. Somebody wants me to make a website.
I have a job offer.
His website's. Oh.
It's like, I could pay you like $20 after you're done with the website if I like it. But it has to have this, this, and this. And if it doesn't,
Well,
I'll take it anyways, but I won't
the
pay you.
website currently isn't terrible. It's just, it seems like a lot of the styling is in an older style. So like just like any other type of field, you know, like
Yeah.
designs change. Designs change.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's kind of like the old MySpace vibe.
Oof,
Yeah,
so bad.
it's not terrible.
I mean, you compared it to an old MySpace page.
Hey, don't
That's
tell
pretty
me-
bad, Nate.
Don't tell me what I compare it to.
If I ever try to insult a website, if I compare it to a MySpace page, that's probably the worst that I could say to it.
Is it really though?
Yeah. MySpace pages were fun and like interesting at the time, but if you look at them now, they look disgusting how bad they are.
This is really triggering me. Right?
What's up?
Well, the website that I'm making on my stream, having a hard time because the background is not. I can't get the background color at all. I don't know if I'm just confused.
Probably that one, yeah.
Not sure. Oh my god.
What's up?
Never changed. I never even updated the background. But it's
What are you building?
this. I'm doing this challenge right here. This is what I got so far.
Okay.
But it's a URL shortening landing page, but this one is intermediate, so you have to put in you have to actually use an API. Shorten the URL. Kind of literally, if you visit have you seen my portfolio page, James?
Yeah, you showed me.
The new one?
When's the last time you updated it?
Week or two ago.
Then I haven't seen the recent update.
Just look at it.
Okay.
Or go to it, nathanielrichards.dev.
I'll just look at your screen.
This is how I did with my skills section. Like this drop down thing.
Hmm.
And I got this cool little typing. But yeah, so I made this one right here.
I'd say probably just add a background. It's very
There's a background.
very simplistic, which looks nice. But I think it's definitely missing something that pops.
This is my URL shortener I made like not that long ago. Like you just type in like youtube.com. It'll spit out this like kind of what was that thing that was super popular not that long ago? Honey or not honey, something B URL shortener.
No idea.
I made this one too. Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary app. You can save stuff and
What kind of job are you trying to get, by the way, Nate? Just software?
engineering.
Just basic software?
Well, basics.
Well, just in general software.
Yeah. Here's
Okay.
my first project I did for school, like big project.
Mm-hmm.
It was for an app that the rest of the team was making. My only job was to make like the landing page for it.
Hmm.
There is another site. I don't have it on my portfolio yet. But if you go to my Netlify, I did this one like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. If you look, it shows all the countries, cases by country. This is what it looks like when you've already selected your country, but if you inspect it, it's actually just using local storage, I think. Yeah, so watch, if I delete this, this is what it would look like for someone going for the first time. And I actually mapped all the countries from the API into here.
Pretty cool.
Sometimes it kind of hangs because the API I'm calling the data from is like super freaking packed. But yeah, and right now I'm learning React Native.
Mm-hmm.
It allows you to make like iPhone and Android apps without even learning a whole separate programming language. It's basically just using the language I already know to do the same thing, so it's super nice. I know, James, I can make you guys, for your game, if you guys want a marketing site or a landing page for it. It's up to you, though.
I mean, sure, I'll talk to them if they want it.
I mean, it's just like a necessity to have.
Sure.
Sure, he says.
It's nice to have a necessity.
Okay, Boober.
It's obviously a necessity, James.
I think at this point in development, no.
If you want people to go to your game,
Well,
then
that's...
you need it. You need it.
For a game, no, because you just send them a Steam page
That
link.
is true, but I mean, you can't
or like a
hurt
Patreon
it,
link.
you know? It's not gonna hurt it.
Yeah, it won't hurt it. That's for sure. Sure. I don't know, dude.
Sure.
You have to keep in.
guess.
Ever since Nate left, I've avoided being in charge of any projects. So, yeah.
Why?
Really?
Because
He's respecting my name.
what?
He's respecting
No.
like my name, basically.
No, that's not what that is. No, not even. No.
Exactly.
It's
no.
So I need to find. I'm in a spot where I need to do one of two things. Either I need to start up a group myself, or I need to join a group. And I would have easily have formed a group myself if Nate was on the team, because I would have been lead programmer, lead artist, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Nate can get a good amount of shit done, especially how we are now. We both know how to do shit a bit easier and a bit more productive, and so on and so forth. The issue is, since Nate just kind of ghosted me for a year and a half, I figured I might as well start branching out and just making new connections and finding people. Just do freelance jobs or whatnot.
Nate now has a lot of free time because he's full time at school 5 days a week and always working on projects and stuff like that. So he's more available. If that makes sense, he's just at his desk instead of like out at work and stuff like that. So
so I mean, if you ever need help with something and I have time, I'll definitely hit you up.
did you leave?
Yeah, he left. James.
You get offended? Oh, I hear noises. Said hello.
Hello?
Yeah, where
Hi.
did you go?
Oh,
We hear
geez.
you now.
No, I accidentally disconnected my mic somehow. I don't know.
We're like, oh, he just didn't want to talk to us anymore.
No, I'm not like it. Don't worry.
So he wants to talk about how Nate doesn't talk to him.
Yeah.
I just
But
can't
ignore
rely on
that.
you, Nate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say it,
I
man,
had to
but
unplug my mic. What do you mean, James?
it's so hard for you to message me back. You ghost me too much. You say you have more free time,
He
but it's
actually
also
does
like-
now.
Well, this just started.
I get that, but it's also like, I don't know. Can I still rely on you? That's a thing. It's like, even though now you're good, back then you weren't. So you've already set forth a pattern. My question is, are you gonna break that pattern?
My question is
probably someday, but like not now.
That's
hey.
That's the question. Yeah.
No, my question is for you, James. You ready for the me?
If there was such a thing, then yes.
Okay. What does that even mean?
I don't think there is a new you, Nate.
Oh, I do.
Do you?
He's changed a lot, yeah.
Has he?
He has.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Remember the types of things I told you I was doing?
You know
Yeah.
I would take this
Well, I know
opportunity
that.
to roast Nate if I could.
Yeah, I
I would.
I don't do those types of things.
I don't think that's my concern, though.
What's your concern?
My concern isn't, like, that. That's fine. Well, not really, but that's not the concern that I'm worried about. It really is, I need you to be reliable. Because if we were to team up again, like, let's say out of the blue, you're like, hey, I'm gonna be busy for 6 months. I'm like, oh, that's fine. 6 months, like, that's a lot, but it's like, whatever. Like, I understand, like, you have shit going on, whatever, yada, yada, yada. The issue comes in where I don't even get the warning. You're just gone for 6 months. That's the issue. So, whether or not your personal life is doing well, is your communication improved?
So basically,
That's
not ghosting you, then you won't be.
No. You can ghost me. Just warn me ahead of time. That's it. If you tell me, hey, I'm gonna be busy for like the next 10 years, it's like, as long as you tell me, like, whatever, I'll just do whatever the fuck you want. But if I like message you and I don't get a response for a month, and then like, it's not sorry, not that I'm gonna be triggered, more that I'm just like, oh well, I just expected you to like actually help me out or like actually do this thing with me, and then you're just gone. So it's just kind of like,
what kind of projects this is gonna sound like rude. What kind of projects can you guys do together? Because you guys do such like different things now.
We realistically, it depends on what he wants it. Because yeah, Nate is the real factor in this equation.
But like, what kind of stuff could you guys do? Like he's more like, he knows more about like software.
Yeah, honestly, we can still do games and stuff. None of that information has been lost on Nate. He probably forgot some shit, but we could definitely get back into it. I could definitely design stuff for like websites or whatever the fuck. We've already done that in the past. I made like logos and stuff for him.
Those are classic days.
That was literally like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, something like that. I don't know.
What? That was 4 months ago?
It was I don't know. I lost track, being honest with you. Actually, no, that was a year ago. Hold up. Let me actually look at this.
When you guys were working on that one game, that was
definitely about a year ago.
Yeah.
But Nate ended up messaging me later on and told me like that he was doing like this whole thing. Yeah, that was the end of last year. So yeah, it was around November of last year is when she's like, I'm setting up this new company. Like, I'm gonna be the programming side, you'll be the art side. And they're like, okay, I'm down, whatever, man. And then I like set up all this stuff for him. And he's like, cool, and then gone. And I messaged him, like, Nate came up with like a company name. I made some logos. We like planned some shit out. I started going out and recruiting people, and then Nate ghosted me. And then I had like this small team of people who were like, so what's going on? Like yada yada. And I'm like, just kind of waiting on the head guy to tell me like if you can do this or this. And it was like a week later. I'm like, well, sorry guys, like he's gone.
At that time, Nate was so all over the place. Like, just like he was trying to get into that he's in now, and he was at the end of last year. He was probably still going to the college that I'm going to, and that's not what he wanted to do anymore. It was messed up. And then he got into the school he's in now, and then he had to get into the learning curve. Pretty much any free time he has, me working, it's pretty much trying to find more projects to put in his portfolio, experience, learn other things. He's always wanted projects.
I think Nate needs to find what projects he wants to work on. Because I'm 100% down to like start shit up again. The issue is I don't think that's, you kind of set a path for yourself right now, and that path doesn't really align with what I'm doing.
What do you mean?
Well, it's like you're doing software, like that kind of shit, like back-end programming and whatnot.
Dude, I feel like I'm on a Keemstar podcast right now. Just pulling out like
I don't.
Like right now.
I don't listen to
receipts.
Yeah, like I feel like drama. Something goes big and he just gets like roasted.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. It's like, do you want to work on games? That's the question.
I do miss working on games.
I think you miss it. I don't think you want to keep doing it though.
It's not that I don't want to do it. It's I want security.
Yeah, and I think you're conflicting. You have conflicting goals.
Do you have
right
a charger
now.
for that?
You want security, but you want freedom. So I think until you figure that out, there's not really much we can do. I mean, besides the podcast, I guess. I can like design some backgrounds for you if you want, but I don't think we'd really be able to work on like a big project. At least not for a while.
Can I ask you a rude question, James?
Sure.
What's your like occupation title? Not like freelancer, but like what do you call what all the stuff you do?
I would. How's that a rude question?
I don't know, because it's like
I think you're fine. What I have on my portfolio and what I market myself as when I like try to look for a job is environmentalist or environment artist / generalist, which means I set up environments, like do all the 3D for it, set up the scenes, whatever. And then I also have generalist skills, which is animation, texturing, a little bit of programming, basics, hard surface, whatever, like a bunch of other shit. So my specific title would be environment artist.
okay.
That having generalist next to it is not really much of a title. It's more of just saying a statement, saying like, hey, this is what I
know
do,
all that too.
But I can do a bunch of other shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like a little jack of all trades.
Yeah. Essentially.
That's hella loud.
Dang.
What would you market yourself as, Nate?
My official title?
Yeah.
At this time. Front-end developer.
Not even back-end?
Well, right now, about halfway through. I understand back-end, but I'm not like confident enough to be like go out and apply to a job type back-end. I do feel very confident front-end wise. Like I feel like I could go apply for a job right now and get it.
Why don't you then?
This guy.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's a legit question. No, I get it's hard.
Well, he can't right now. Didn't we ever tell you about his issues with his Social Security?
Being honest with you, Nate hasn't talked to me in months. Like I say as a joke,
that's been going on since
but it's
like
even months ago he hasn't. I would ask him like, hey, how are you doing? Like this, that, whatever. He'd give me like a basic answer and then just ghost me.
Long story short, he can't get a job right now.
Okay.
Like
so,
if he left Meyer, he can get a job anywhere else.
Okay. Did you lose your Social Security? And someone using it?
No, it's a very long story.
Oh, we can get
But
to it
long
on the
story
next
short,
episode.
it didn't. When he left Washington, it didn't carry over to Michigan. Long story short,
Oh.
it was a different name, and he can't get it fixed because he's not in Washington, so a lawyer has to do it. Blah blah blah.
So what I'm hearing is you need to move back to Washington
No,
and fix the issue here.
no,
Close.
no.
Close.
A lawyer's gonna do it. But then, right when the ball started rolling, quarantine happened, so all the courts and all the offices closed.
Yeah, that's always a fun thing.
Yeah. So technically, right now, he could not get one at this time.
Allegedly. Just making that
Presumably.
clear,
He has said he wanted to apply for jobs before, but I told him not to quite yet because you could ruin those opportunities for yourself in the future if they notice that something's wrong with your Social Security. It could ruin future opportunities.
For software, I don't think that's as big of a deal.
I mean, because like he had some connections with like some people he knew were like, oh, I know some people, and I didn't want him to apply to that place and have there be a Social Security issue. It's like a red flag, and then he wouldn't be able to go for them again because he like messed up a first impression or an opportunity.
I see what you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, because programming and game development as a whole, they're like weird waters to kind of swim in when it comes to stuff like that. Because it's most people don't really care, but when it comes to like working for big companies, I can definitely see how that's an issue. Yeah, that shit sucks.
Long story short, he can't get like tax returns because it's that messed up. So so like he really cannot get a job anywhere.
Yeah.
He should technically.
Yeah, I see what. Yeah.
Shouldn't be employed where he is now, but he is, and they just haven't.
What did you do for your taxes then?
Nothing. Filed them and they didn't go through. So when this gets fixed, he can back tax.
Okay. Yeah, because
that's the really shortened version.
Isn't it so awesome, James?
No, it isn't.
Yeah, but you know, I'm not looking for a job for another 6 months. You know,
because he is doing school full time, so it'd be like conflicting.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about it yet, but I'll need to figure it out eventually.
Because he'll only be able to finish in November if he continues doing full time 5 days a week, 11 to 7 p.m.
Yeah, it's rough. I can't really give much advice or like help there. That's just like a.
It is how it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It pretty much is that. You're kind of just in a situation where you just gotta power through it.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I still wonder though, like, what the fuck do you like? Are you just gonna work for whatever software company hires you, or is there a specific type of company you're looking for, a specific type of job?
Well, you know where I live, right?
I know the state.
That's pretty much all I need. Like, that's all the information that.
Realistically, yeah, but it's like, so you want to work for just those companies?
Well, if my first choice is finding a remote job, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I'd love to find a remote job. But
is there
like for a remote job for like, you know, like Google or something, but
okay, so okay. Yeah, that's what my question. It's like, is there a specific like company? Not necessarily yeah. Yeah, I know that situation. That's kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing now, where instead of looking for other jobs and kind of powering through it, I just decided to join an existing group and like build off a foundation that's already there.
Are you able to put the projects that you do for freelance into your portfolio? Or do you have to ask permission?
It depends on the project. The majority of the time, yeah, I can. There have been a couple situations. I mentioned it before about the art tests. So anytime a large company, they're interested in what you do, they'll give you a test, which is basically they'll give a piece of concept art and say, hey, do this in the exact style with these many textures, that's this resolution, export as this, yada, whatever. And then you have to just make that exactly and send it to them. The issue is that with those kind of things, everything is under NDA.
Oh yeah.
So I can't share any of that, sadly.
Yeah.
So I would end up spending anywhere between a week to 3 weeks on one of these things, and then I just can't do anything about it. I send it over, they find someone who can do a better job, and I'm kind of just stuck here with a 2 to 3 weeks of wasted time. Which is kind of why I stopped doing those altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Is just.
Is there a baby in the background?
No. Can you hear that?
Yes.
So remember how I said I have a cat that's in heat?
Oh my god.
I literally thought that was a baby crying.
Yeah, no, I don't have any kids. She's in heat, and I can't have her near the dog because the dog is also in already mature. They don't do anything. Is the dog a boy or a girl? It's a boy. They don't do anything, but it's also just I don't want to walk into the kitchen and just see my dog humping my cat and just I don't know.
Yeah, it could be that, or sometimes cats are just mean during heat. Just be
No,
rude.
She's the fucking nicest cat out there.
Oh really?
She's absurdly nice. You can go up to her whatever mood she's in and just start fucking with her, squeezing her, shaking her, kicking her around, turning her in circles, whatever the fuck. And she just takes it. And
that's funny.
If she gets if she wants attention, I'll walk up to the kitchen and she'll run in front of me and just lay down. And she look up, she lay on her back and look up at me and put up her paws and act super cute because she knows she's just trained at an early age that she does that, she gets attention.
That's so cute.
Yeah, she's I wouldn't say spoiled, but she's very needy. I'll say that much.
Okay.
What?
Ever heard that?
No. Nate, any meme shit or whatever the fuck, that all left my vocabulary the second we stopped talking.
It's a legitimate song people really liked.
I've never heard of this.
James, have you seen any Killer Bees?
No. Although I don't go outside, so that.
Huh.
Well,
I'm a very indoor type of guy.
Do you know anyone virus had it?
No. I don't believe so, actually. I know people who have the virus.
Okay.
That's about it. The only people that I talk to that interact with other people are my family members, and my family members are they have their own closed-in circle of friends. Which one of them probably has it, but my family member, I don't talk to my family as often, so yeah, I wouldn't know.
Well, we're hitting an hour and 45 minutes.
I think I gotta catch some.
Jeez, it felt much longer.
It did. I'm sweating real bad right now.
Hi.
You have the AC on?
Yeah. Well, I'm to the side of the room right now. But, AC is over there. Anyways.
Kevin said something about how we probably shouldn't have the TV directly in front of the AC unit, and that probably is fact.
No.
The AC unit literally blows directly into the back of the TV. First of all, blocks the air. Second of all, just blows directly onto the back of the TV. The TV is almost touching the air conditioner. Well, that's the only place it fits.
I'm gonna end it here. We'll have to do this again, James.
In a month.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be streaming more often now. So.
How
I mean,
often
it
is
might
that?
be with all three of us. Like every other day, every few days.
Literally,
Okay.
Probably tomorrow, yeah.
maybe he'll bug you.
And tomorrow will probably be longer, since
That's
it will
fine.
be in the beginning of the day.
For the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna be doing nothing but concept art and
Well, yeah, you could totally do it in the background.
yeah. Yeah, I don't mind.
Right.
As long as
Unless it's
I,
too distracting.
for me, it isn't. I don't know about Nate.
No, he's been programming the whole time.
Well, exactly.
Well, I'm talking.
I think like 80% of the podcast was me and you talking, and they just
That's true.
working.
I literally
Yeah.
sat there and was just listening to you talk, and I was like, I should probably say something, but they're just
Yeah.
talking right now, so- Well, you guys were talking. I don't want to.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I ramble on, so I can't blame you for not.
I do too. Maybe he's gonna say fuck it and kick us both off.
Probably.
And find other co-hosts or whatever you want to call it. They talk too
Yeah.
fucking much.
All right. Well, gonna end it here.